Hello, my name is Alicia Zeman. I am the PBIS coordinator at the West Virginia Behavior Mental Health Technical Assistance Center. We are a collaboration between West Virginia's Autism Training Center at Marshall University and the West Virginia Department of Education's Office of Special Education and Student Support. Before I began working at the West Virginia Behavior Mental Health Technical Assistance Center, I was a classroom teacher. I spent many years teaching pre-Kers, so 4 to 5-year-olds, all about emotions and letters and how to dance and how to have fun and how to go to school. I can assure you that from my time in the classroom and even my time as a mama now, I have seen a bunch of childhood emotions. Emotions are hard. They're challenging for us all. They can feel huge, they can feel overwhelming, they can feel scary, they can feel like they're going to last forever, they can feel like we don't even know what's happening in our bodies. Even as adults, we sometimes struggle to name our emotions or work through them. This is especially true for young children. They don't have the privilege of experience or perspective or even the vocabulary that we have access to as adults. This is why Dr. Dan Siegel says, if we can help children to name it, we can help them to tame it. And that's exactly what we're trying to do by building their emotional literacy. Emotional literacy is built when we begin to talk about emotions on a daily basis. When we begin to talk about how we as adults are feeling, we begin to model how we calm down or how we change our attitude during the day. What we know is when we begin to talk about emotions on a regular basis, we begin to see changes in our children. They get frustrated less often. They get into less physical fights. They are less impulsive and they engage in less destructive behavior because they have the language to be able to share with us how they're feeling. When we make emotions part of our daily conversations, our children become healthier. They become less lonely. They are more focused, and often we see improvement in their academic outcomes as well. The National Center for Pyramid Model Innovations has a Teaching Emotions Activity Guide for parents. This guide can be accessed at www.challengingbehavior.org. In this video, we're going to share some of their suggestions. The first suggestion is to make an emotions book with your child. This activity only requires paper, writing materials, and your child's creativity. In this book, you can help the child choose one emotion per page. Think about having variety in your emotions. Happy, sad, mad, frustrated, loved, and surprised are all great examples. Then ask your child to draw that emotion. You can encourage them to draw a picture of what makes them feel that way and write that sentence at the bottom of the paper. Another way to do this activity is to find some magazines and have the children cut pictures of activities or items that make them feel that particular emotion. Either way, the conversation around each page is what is important. Learning to build your child's emotional literacy can be very easy. It's often as simple as intentionally adding conversations and games and activities about emotions into our daily routine. Another important thing to teach our kids about emotion is how to recognize them in other people. We can do that by playing the Mirror, Mirror, What Do I See game. This game only needs a mirror and you and your children. Choose an emotion to make in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror, what do I see? And then you respond with, I see a mad mommy looking at me. Then allow your child to have a chance to do the same thing. NCPMI says do not be surprised if they make the same face as you. Another game that's suggested by the NCPMI is the Make a Face game. This is a very simple game that can be played anywhere at any time. It involves simply saying, I'm going to make a face. Can you guess what I'm feeling? A follow-up question to that would be, what makes me feel this way? When my son and I played this game, I was so surprised about how in tune he was to what causes me to have certain emotions. We also need to make sure that we're teaching our kids how to be proactive when dealing with strong emotions. We need to teach them things like understanding appropriate ways to calm down and how to build self-regulation. By providing an opportunity to allow our kids to check in on their emotions at different times of day, we can learn more about them. This can be insightful for them and for your relationship. Seeing where they are at in the morning will allow you to know how much grace you need to have during the day. As you watch my son and I participate in this activity, you can see that we took the time to make sure that we recognize each of the emotion options on this paper. If you can't print this paper, you can print faces from different magazines as well. I asked my son to circle the emotions he was feeling that day. If you notice, he circled more than one, and that's okay. We can have more than one emotion at one time. I hope you take the time to do some of these activities with your children. I encourage you to find different ways that you can talk about emotions throughout the day. Maybe you can think of some different scenarios and challenge your kids to show you how they would respond in the bathroom mirror when you're getting ready in the morning. Or maybe you can have an art and craft time and the kids can show you how they can make emojis out of Play-Doh. Or maybe you can find a new favorite YouTube channel that has emotion songs and you can have a dance party in your living room. Or maybe you can pull out your favorite childhood book and talk about the emotions that the characters are having. I encourage you to talk about emotions all the time and begin to build the foundation of emotional literacy for your children. I know that they'll appreciate it and your teachers will too when we get back to school. If you're interested in the work that we do for West Virginia Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, please visit our website at www.wvpbis.org. Here you'll find more information about trainings and the work that we do across the state. If you work in the school system and you're interested in technical assistance, please visit our website at www.marshall.edu/BMHTAC. This website will tell you more about our regions and how our center is divided and allow you to request assistance. If you're finding that you are needing more resources during the coronavirus outbreak, please visit the State Department's website at wvde.us/COVID-19. This website houses many resources and allows you to see our educational response and resources that are specifically for parents. We hope that you stay well, stay safe, and we can't wait to see you back at school.